Welcome to episode 28 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Allison.
I'm Edward.
I feel like I said that really fast this time.
Yeah, that was faster than usual.
Zooming through things. You're finally rubbing off on me. I'm like, oh gosh, I can't talk for longer than 2 seconds.
This is true. I am short and concise.
Yeah.
The yin to the pod, while you are the yang.
The yang. I don't mind being the yang.
No, we know. We know. Do you have any yang length stories to
yang length stories
to regale us with on the first part of this episode?
I mean, no, I don't think so, but I did just kind of wonder if maybe I should start playing tennis.
Yeah, why? Did you just see something on...
Well, I just saw an Instagram of someone I know playing tennis, and I was like, that kind of looks like fun. My friend and I do have a yang length story for you. In middle school, my friend and I would walk home from school together, and she lived by the high school, and there were obviously tennis courts at the high school. So we would go to her house and get tennis racks and some tennis balls, but, like, neither of us could play tennis, so we would just end up hitting the balls against the side of the high school, and we would always end up, like, losing them on top of the high school, which is wild because it was a 2-story building. So how did the tennis balls
Yeah, you
get
must
up
have
there
really
anyway?
been shanking that ball.
Yeah, but that's the extent of my tennis experience, but it looks like fun.
Yeah, I had a friend who in high school who had like older siblings, and older parents, therefore, and he always said that they prioritize like the 3 sports you can do at any point in your life, which is like tennis, swimming, and golf.
I knew you were gonna say golf. I'm like,
and I was like, yeah, those
you
are the 3
mean
sports
they
you do all the time.
prioritize like the 3 country club sports?
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up in a very affluent white neighborhood.
Yeah.
Not that I lived in the most affluent of the sections, but yeah, essentially. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was like, I mean, that's true. I mean, you see geriatric-looking people do all those sports all the time.
This is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And those are all well, I started playing golf. I took golf lessons a few summers ago.
Golf seems so boring. Was it fun? Did you enjoy it?
It's fun. I enjoy it, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but I did enjoy it. So...
What is the point of golf? No, like, that's not the right question.
That's not the right question because I feel like being someone who's not, like, super into sports, you could literally be like, what is the point of anything?
Yeah. No, I meant, like, what is the hitting of the ball?
I don't get your question.
Like, why are there different clubs?
Oh, to do different things, right?
I mean, I get, like, a putt.
Well, so, like, your driver should give you, like, the most power and distance. You hit your ball for this. And then you have, like, a couple of different balls for, like, if your golf ball's in, like, longer grass, or if your golf ball goes in the sand, there's a club for that. So they're at different angles. The heads they're at different angles. Mm-hmm. And some of them are, like, obviously, like, putter shape, much different than the driver. And then, like, where the way you, like, stand would be slightly different for certain clubs.
Right, but the whole point of there being different clubs is that they just, the angles.
The angles, so, like, yeah. So some of them are for longer distances or shorter distances.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also the terrain you're on.
Right, but yeah. But so the difference.
So I'm not answering your question, but I don't understand how I'm not answering your question.
The question was like, how are they different? And then
how are the clubs themselves? Yeah. So like, if you're thinking about your like iron, so like they're numbered. Yeah, they're numbered. And also, I'm not explaining this 100% because I'm not like super golfer, but the angle, this would be the easiest explanation for me. For the ones that are all irons, for the ones that are all, like, essentially look the same, if you were to pick it up and be like, I can't tell the difference between these two.
Yeah.
The angle.
Oh, okay.
Degree. I don't know the proper terminology.
The degree of the angle.
Yes.
All right. Well, so glad we had that discussion.
So you can never put it to use and never golf.
Yeah, I don't really see that in my future. I don't see a lot in my future, to be honest, but I really don't see golf in my future.
Do you know what I see in your future?
Please tell me, what do you see in my future?
Air conditioning.
I would love to see that in my
day.
future, but I don't think that's happening.
One day. Now that I'm experiencing the pain of sitting in your room with all the doors and windows closed.
Yeah. Yeah, and at late, it's 7:20 p.m. here currently.
Oh, she's so hot.
Yeah, it's hot. But also, I've learned you don't deal very well with the heat.
No, which is wild because I don't like to keep my apartment super cold. Like, my AC is set to 77 all summer long.
Mm-hmm.
But the heat here is wild. Like, 5:30 p.m., still 87 degrees in a city. Wild heat.
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't even. Like we talked about this yesterday, so this is
Yeah.
fun for us, but new for the listener. It wasn't even that hot the past 2 days. I mean, it was hot, but like when we were walking yesterday, it was like not that hot.
Yesterday was a different kind of heat. It was like an all surrounding heavier heat because there was no wind. Like,
That's
I
how
just
it like
could
usually
feel
is.
it in the air, the heavy air on me, and it wasn't humid, but it was just warm air all around me.
Yeah, that's what the whole city's like.
Yeah,
And on top, all the pollution, yada yada.
but I mean, it's been great. Like, I guess it's
The heat?
been abnormal. No, the wind. Like, there's been a really nice breeze every day,
Oh, so far, yeah.
and in the mornings it's beautiful out. Honestly, it's beautiful out until probably like noon, and then I'm starting to get like, well, okay, this is a problem.
Oh my god, noon is like still such a perfect time.
Yeah. You're used to it, though. You've been here for 4 years.
Yeah, yes, 5 years.
You've been here for 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. So yes, I've acclimated, but I don't really spend. Well, recently I've spent more summer here, but it wasn't really my go-to
True.
summer plan. But everybody knows about that already. We're not going to talk about it. Beating a dead horse. Yeah.
Beating those dead little piggies we saw today.
Yes. I was going to say something about Segovia, but that's
Yes.
a great transition.
It
Beating
is.
dead little piggies.
Dead little piggies.
It's a nice visual.
I mean, there were dead little piggies on display in all the restaurant windows.
An entire little piglet.
Little piglet, like, takes you back to... I was never in the class that dissected baby pigs
I
in
wasn't.
high school,
That
but...
was anatomy for us.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
take
do,
anatomy.
like... I took basic anatomy, but I didn't do AP anatomy. It must have been the AP anatomy that
AP bio, probably.
No, I did AP bio. We didn't dissect any pigs. There were two class... no, AP anatomy did cats, and I remember being so offended because... My anatomy teacher,
Because all those cats
he was
in your garden
no,
on your phone.
yes. My we can talk about that later.
Briefly.
My anatomy teacher in high school, like, I liked him, but also he was kind of, sometimes he would say things and I would be like, what's wrong with you? And he taught, obviously, anatomy and AP anatomy, and he was showing us a slideshow from, like, the dissection day when they did the cats, and someone had, like, beheaded one of the cats and put the cat's head over, like, the butane gas or whatever that you would turn on and it would light, and so flames were coming out of its mouth. And I remember being so, like, horrified and scandalized
This just happened
by this.
in your high school?
Yeah.
That's so gross.
I remember being, like, so offended by this, and
Yeah.
the teacher thought it was hilarious, and then, like, the people in the class were laughing, and I was just like, you're a monster.
It's just gross. It's gross.
Right?
It's gross. What was the site? I can't even ask you more questions.
Somehow we got there from the baby pigs in Segovia. Tell everyone why there are baby pigs in Segovia.
It's because it's the delicacy of the region.
Yeah.
Is a suckling little pig.
Yep.
And it's quite good. I've had it before. Not an entire one. It's a lot of meat to go through. Or pork, rather. But, that's basically it. And it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've never really seen them, like, on display pre-fried.
Pre-fried.
I've seen them, like, splayed and fried before.
There were two different kinds on display today, and they both looked weird.
Well, the ones I didn't even realize for the longest time but the ones that were uncooked.
Yeah, they looked fake.
Until she pulled that thing out of the thing and was
she
like, oh, here we go.
Pulled it out, carried it across the restaurant, and then she saw her make like a thing with her hands after she passed it off to someone else. I was like, ooh, it's probably juicy in that window.
Or it's like cold and balmy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a dead body. Anyway, any other thoughts about Segovia other than the dead little piggies?
I actually loved it. I had a really good time there. It's really pretty. And there is a decent amount to see there. I mean, obviously you can do it in like half a day, but it was very nice.
Yeah, we weren't rushed at any point.
No.
Well, except when we were leaving from eating, but that was also like, we left quite late.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, whatever.
It was fine.
Yeah.
But there's an aqueduct. I love aqueducts. I don't know why.
You say aqueduct?
Aqueduct?
Not aqueduct?
Aqua. Whatever.
Aqueduct.
Aqueduct. Maybe I'm like flashing back to all of like the Discovery Channel and like National Geographic documentaries I used to watch as a child.
Claiming
and
that
it's
you
never
have a British accent.
it's never an American person narrating those. It's always a British person.
Wouldn't it be an aqueduct then?
Aqueduct. I don't know. You know I can't do a British accent. Anyway, there's an aqueduct in Segovia,
you don't wanna do
and I love it. I can do a New York accent.
Oh, right, yeah, that's yeah, we've done that one. Sorry.
Beat that
there's
one
an
to death.
aqueduct.
Mm-hmm. There's really pretty views of mountains. There's a castle.
Mm-hmm.
The castle is.
I think the castle, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, influenced inspired, like, one of the Disney castles.
I honestly could see that. The outside of the castle is very, if you think of like a Disney castle, it looks like that.
I think it's Snow White's castle. The castle in Snow White.
But then you go inside and it's kind of not what I expected from a castle. To think that like the king and queen it was the king and queen, or was it prince and princess?
Both.
To think that they lived there, going in there, the inside gave me more like...
It was like walking into a medieval painting.
Yeah.
Because that's how old it is.
True. Everything was kind of like smaller inside than I expected it to be and not as fancy. But this could also be because I was in the palace in Madrid just the other day, where everything is like over the top.
That's all those Frenchy inspiration, isn't it?
Yes. What I will say, you know what was really cool in the palace? And anyone, if you're in Madrid, go to the palace. Just do it. There's a room full of Stradivari violins. Stradivarius,
right?
Stradivarius is a store, but the designer of the violin's name is Stradivari, isn't it?
I thought it was Stradivarius violins. Oh, that's his name, but I think they're referred to as...
Yeah, but his name is Stradivari.
The Latinized form of his surname, Stradivarius.
Okay. Well, all the plaques
Stradivarius violins.
say Stradivari.
Right, but that's because his last name.
Exactly.
But it's referred to as a Stradivarius violin.
But all of Stradivari's violins,
yes.
There's a room full of his violins.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, whatever you want to call them.
I don't remember that room.
Violins that he made in like the 1600s. That was really cool.
What room is that in?
I don't know. There's like 80 billion rooms in there.
Was it just?
It was closer towards the end of the tour. It was a smaller room, and it led into another room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember what was in the other room, to be honest. But there was a music room. There was a piano. There were a few harps, and then there were all of the violins.
I just looked it up, and I was right. It is Snow White.
Snow White.
Yeah, inspired by that.
Yeah, back to the castle. It is very much like what you would expect, like a Disney castle to look like on the outside.
Makes sense, because it inspired Disney castles.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But the inside is, it's definitely like you should go see it, but it's it's real quick.
It's quick there, but there are really good views. There's obviously like a rooftop lookout.
Yeah, that's new.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. I liked it. I mean, like, new-ish as in, like, the past 2 years or whatever, 3 years.
There's, like, a little square-ish area in front of it with,
remodeled.
like, gardens.
That was nice.
Yeah,
that was a surprise for me.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, there's the cathedral.
Yep.
Also very nice.
Yep.
All in all, a great place to go. And our restaurant that we went to for lunch was, like, apparently some international award-winning restaurant.
Yeah, like back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But regardless.
It was very good.
That's good.
It was very good.
10 out of 10. I ate a bunch of food I should not eat.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes later.
That's why it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's why it was 10 out of 10. Let's take a break and we'll come back with no plan.
No plan at all.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Welcome back. We hope you had a fabulous break. I know I had a fabulous break. Did you?
Sweaty ass break.
Sweaty break. I'm feeling good now. I'm going to put you even more in the hot seat. This is something we talked about a very long time ago, so you probably don't remember.
I probably don't.
But you're supposed to read my tarot cards when I'm here.
I don't remember agreeing to that, but it sounds accurate. It sounds like something I would have said.
They're right next to us. What are you waiting for?
Well, instead, we got an email from someone named .Angela.
Angela.
Yes, or Angela, your choice.
Angela.
And she says, the angelic tarot has spoken.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, she sent an email that says, nothing will ever be the same after the serious revelations in bold caps.
Revelations or revelations?
Your
Angela,
choice. Your
what
choice.
are you doing?
Tell me everything, says the button that I'm apparently supposed to click.
Click the button.
Oh, I don't know about that. The angels have always been watching over you. Their message about you leaves no room for doubt. Your life is about to turn around completely.
Okay.
How? It is simple. And this is a link. Thanks to my celestial contacts and my angelic tarot, I can hand you the keys to unlock the doors to happiness. Happiness with a capital H. All the things you have always wanted could be finally yours. But before I unveil what the angelic tarot, in bold, has to say about your future, capital F, I would like to disclose more details about what your future, bold, capital F, could be like. So it is with great pleasure that I am offering you your free reading, which you need to seize right now in all caps. And then a pic of Angela.
I'm ready to seize Angela's offer.
Well,
she's going to tell me what I want to hear.
What do you think Angela has in store for the pod?
She sees...
The angelic tarot. What does the angelic tarot have in store for the pod?
I mean, she sees great things for us.
Anything specific you think she sees?
Lots of sponsors.
Sponsors.
Lots of listeners.
Lots of listeners.
Paid advertisements.
Paid adverts.
Success. So I end up having to get that dang AMF pod tattoo you keep trying to pester me into.
I did. That was one conversation for about a solid 10 feet.
Yeah, but then we passed the tattoo shop again and it was just burned into my brain.
Yeah, but that's not my problem.
That's your problem. You initiated this.
I don't actually want an AMF pod tattoo. I said, okay, this was the scenario, so the listeners know. I said, if we ever became super successful with this podcast, which is LOL never going to happen, but if it does, very funny to go back and listen to this, would you feel obligated to get a matching AMF pod tattoo with me? And you said straight up, nor.
That's not how it started. It started with the would you get a tattoo or let's get a tattoo.
No.
Yeah. It was just
a basic.
Maybe
said, let's get a tattoo.
It was just a basic. We were passing a tattoo shop and it was like, let's get a tattoo. And I was like, no. And then it was like, oh, you would never get a tattoo, would you? And I said, nah.
Okay.
And
then this sounds more familiar now.
And then we got into like, if we were super, super, super successful and this was our life job.
No, I said if we were super successful, would you get a matching AMF pod tattoo? And you said no. And I said no, but like what if this was like our livelihood? Like this is what like made us famous.
Yeah. And then I said okay.
Fine.
Sure.
So where are we going to get this AMF pod tattoo? She's looking at her body.
Maybe right here on my thigh.
You want a thigh tattoo?
Well,
A small thigh
would
tattoo?
I want an ankle tattoo, a
No,
wrist
no,
tattoo,
no.
so I can look like everybody else? One on my rib with
yeah,
a
'cause
little
you can hide
with
it.
a little butterfly flapping off
No,
in the
we're not getting
wind.
anything other than AMF pod. But a thigh tattoo, a small thigh tattoo seems
Small.
strange.
Just small. Boop.
Small, just small?
Yeah.
I don't know. A small thigh tattoo
Like
seems
size
bizarre.
10 font.
That is so small.
People from a distance would be like, oh, she just has like a birthmark on her leg or
A
something.
very strangely long birthmark.
So, okay, so
But if you just have it on your ribs, people
I'll
are going
get
to
it
know it's
tattooed inside my actual birthmark. It'll be that small.
Oh my god. This is like the size of like
A fingernail.
a finger. Well, your fingernails are incredibly long
Yeah.
because they're long. There's no reason other than they're long.
Yeah.
All right, well then, so that's
Where are you
the
going to get
size.
yours?
Right across my forehead. Size 72 font.
Sounds about right.
I'm a walking advertisement. Think about it that way. It's free advertising.
It is free advertising.
Well, it's not free, but...
But then people would see you and be like, look at that freak with that tattoo on his forehead. Why
well,
would
when
anyone
it's
ever listen to that?
2060 and we're finally popular,
True.
and we're living in truly a dystopia, forehead tattoos may be the norm.
Everyone's going to have their ID number tattooed on their forehead.
Ojalá.
So you'll just have your ID number and the pod tattooed on your forehead.
Maybe the pod will be so successful, the pod will be my ID number.
Maybe it will.
I'll be AMF pod 1, you'll be AMF pod 2.
Yes, your employment is your ID number.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I can have, like, English language assistant number
Yeah.
640,000 tattooed on my forehead. It's a little
We're
long.
going to go back to our roots and everyone's going to be named after their profession, what they do.
Is that what your last name is?
Well, you know how people's names, like your
yeah,
name
yeah,
is
yeah.
Smith because you were like a Smith, you know?
For example, yes.
For-
But is
yes.
Bo like a... What is Bo?
I think it means ox.
It's where do you think that came from?
I don't know. Apparently we used to own wineries. We're in like a small town in Italy.
But how does the ox come into
I don't
play
know.
there? I don't think there's any ox on vineyards.
No, so
Well,
maybe they were there before the vineyards.
maybe. It must come from before the vineyards.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's something for you to research and potentially find out.
Yes.
Mine
One day.
Mine is just son of Wojciech, so it's very easy. I don't know who Wojciech is.
But
But
you
at one
are
point,
his son.
well, I am. Yes, I am. I guess technically, I am the great grandson of some old ass man named Wojciech. Oh my god, wild! I actually, speaking of Poland, this is very random. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna? talk
I
about?
don't know.
I saw
Don't
a huge
ask
brain.
me.
No, I just saw another random email on the thing. Sorry.
Not from Angela.
No, not from Angela. The angelic tarot has decided to stay quiet. And I got a text from my father. That's what this is about. I was wondering why I had this. And my my family that lives there, right? Sometimes she messages me. Sometimes now she messages my father, which is great because I don't want to always have to be the one who's like having to deal with replying all the time, which is not
Right.
really a burden. It's very lovely. Love that I have I have this opportunity. Yada yada. But it's nice sometimes to pass the buck. And apparently, so this was yesterday,
Okay.
July 3rd, or maybe August 3rd, August 2nd. I'm a little unsure. Oh no, August 1st. It was August 1st. So I was completely wrong. And apparently it was the 77th anniversary of the liberation of Poland and the Warsaw Uprising.
Okay.
And so this woman who lives in Poland, who's a family member of mine, sent my father a text. And obviously he sent me the whole thing translated. Apparently a bunch of my family, I mean a bunch, she mentioned 3 people who had passed away fighting in the uprising. Which, I mean, I just assumed because if the lots and lots and lots of people passed away. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know that any of my family was up there, but apparently 3 of them were because they were all studying and stuff. So there's kind of a Vietnam War memorial type wall, the black stone with the names at the museum there. And you can look up the names. There's someone with my exact name. It's very creepy.
Okay.
And so now I feel like I need to go back to Warsaw and look up their names.
Perhaps you do.
I don't. I sent my dad a text that said probably their names are on it, and he was like, they must be. And I was like, great conversation. So, yeah, that reminded me of that. So, random update from Southeast Poland via my father.
We love a random update.
We do. I need to go back, but like, when?
I would also like to go to Poland.
That's what everybody tells me.
Mostly.
But nobody be going. Mostly because we're in a pandemic.
Well, yeah, because we're in a pandemic. Nobody be going. But I would love to go to Poland. I want to go everywhere. But I really want to go to Poland. Well, obviously because I want to go everywhere and see everything. But also because I love the food.
True. We talked about it on the last
We did talk about that on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just pretty.
It is. I mean, it depends on what time of year you're going and what certain area you're going to, but it's very pretty. There's lots going on there. There's the Baltic Sea, cold as fuck. There's lake country, if you're into lakes.
I like a good lake.
I wasn't really a fan of lakes growing up, just because like the water's so brown. It like creeps me out.
Yeah, there are a few lakes that have really pretty blue water, but those are like the special ones.
Or you also, as we know, you grew up in Michigan, so.
Oh, we had a lot of brown lakes.
No, I'm saying like you have a different relationship to lakes than like probably most people.
Yeah.
But when I went to the one in Poland, it was quite nice. I got over the fact that it was murky, but that's just because of the bottom of the pond. So. Yeah. So that's that. Welcome to Pond Talk.
We don't enjoy touching the bottom. That's gross.
Oh yeah, I absolutely hated that. I like doggy paddled as like a 26-year-old as far as I could.
To avoid touching the bottom, yeah.
And then that's I just jumped onto the grass. Mm-hmm. Ugh, so nasty. I don't know how people do it.
Me neither.
You just yawn?
I did just yawn. Leave me alone. We woke up early.
We did. Oh, she's gonna cough. Live on the pod.
There's dust in my throat.
There's dust all over the city. I just cleaned this room.
I think part of the problem is there's a construction zone right next door. So, with leaving the window open, all the dust from that floats in. Yeah. And it's currently in my throat. Yeah.
I mean, I said I cleaned, but like I didn't also. There's dust all over my desk. But not on the floor. I did mop the floor.
Clean floor, dirty desk. Got it.
Yeah. You know what? I cleaned the whole room before, so you cannot actually yell at me.
Before?
When my other friend was here. When Natalie was here.
Oh, I see how it is.
I didn't feel like doing it again.
You can't clean for me.
No, I really can't, because I gotta clean after you leave.
True.
Yeah, I got a lot to do tomorrow. I'm really unhappy about it, but you know what the French say?
At least I didn't make
Sacre bleu.
I didn't make a mess. The sheets just need to be washed.
This is true, but I do need to just like do the carpet. I need to I have to cleanse the room energetically. That's what she asked me to do. Natalie asked me to. Kitty asked me to Palo Santo the room.
You put a pair of scissors on an altar one time and you'll never live it down.
That's true. This was unrelated to that though, but it's a good point. I definitely should do it now. But, I mean, maybe the Angelic Tarot was trying to tell us that it's actually okay.
The Angelic Tarot seems to like me a lot, so I'm just going to go with that.
What gives you the impression that the Angelic Tarot seems to like you a lot, specifically?
I am one half of this podcast. Her review was glowing. Her email was glowing. She loves us.
Does she love us, or does the Angelic Tarot love us?
The Angelic Tarot and all the spirits love us, and they told her that she needed to reach out to us. Mm-hmm.
Definitely wasn't like a mailing list situation.
No.
I don't even know how she found, like, where is this?
We're not on anything.
Yeah.
You know what? Something weird is happening, though, because...
What is weird that is happening?
Years ago, when we started the postcards, I received a pen in the mail with our business name on the pen.
You never told me about this.
I told you about this.
Nor you have never told me about this.
Yes, I have told you about this. It was like 4 years ago.
Nor I would definitely remember this. This is random.
I'm pretty sure I brought the pen with me.
To Spain?
Yeah. Because it's a good pen. It has a little rubber nubby on the end so you can use it to draw on your phone.
If this pen is in this house, I want you to go get it. We're pausing the pod. Or maybe I'll vamp. Go get this pen. Disgusting. Her chair is moist, listeners. She's leaving my room. It's kind of nice because there's now a breeze because the door's open a little bit, but it's not enough to really satiate the fact that I am roasting alive. This is longer than I thought it was going to take. She did just pack everything, so I wonder if she packed the pen deep inside. I would like to say, dear listener, that she did not tell me about this pen at all. So
I totally
do not
lied.
believe.
It's a matching pen, but it's not the pen.
So there we have it, folks. Live on the pod. A liar. Welcome to the
Listen.
pod.
I forgot I brought this one. Okay, so
What
I
is
have
this
a pen that looks exactly like this, but it's gray.
Is this going to be a
And it
Yang Ling
says
story about a pen?
a message from on it. It just was randomly sent to me in the mail years ago. I know I told you about this. I will literally pull the receipts from WhatsApp, so don't even nor me, okay?
I genuinely need the receipts.
I will pull the receipts, but this is Voyages by
take you so
Kim,
long.
my real estate agent who helped me find my apartment that ended up being trash. She also is a travel agent. So if anyone needs a travel agent, Voyages by Kim.
But she gave you that trash apartment.
She helped me find a trash apartment, but she gives out really cool pens. So
You know what? I actually have a pen that is exactly like that, and it is unfortunately just too far away for me to reach because I threw it on my bed. And it is for Kitty's grandmother's 90th birthday party.
oh, lovely.
So I have that. So matching pens, but none of them are in a message from pen.
I have in a message from pen, and I'm gonna find it, and I will find the receipts.
You know what? I'm gonna read this pen because you don't seem to believe me, but I'm gonna do it.
No, I believe you about the birthday pen.
Oh.
You're the one who doesn't believe me.
Well, it's because it's not happening. It says, "Here's to Grandma Ann, nifty at 90." So it doesn't really rhyme.
No.
But I don't know what does rhyme with 90. Fine tea at 90.
I wonder if when I got my new phone, all of my old messages from WhatsApp pulled over.
Convenient how that receipt may be just lost to us. Probably because it doesn't exist.
You know, you are such a rat bastard.
Well, it's time for this rat bastard to end this podcast. Please send us a message at 202-630-4509 so we can stop vamping just the two of us for 30 minutes in my hot room. And if you don't want to do that, you can send a message to amessagefrompod@gmail.com and check out a message from on Instagram, amfpod.com for bonus content. And subscribe on Apple Podcasts, give us a review, yada, yada, yada. Tell your friends, and we'll talk to you later. Allison is deep in her WhatsApp search, searching pen. So from both of us, on my behalf, goodbye.
Bye.